I remember the days when eBay first came out. It was a lot of fun doing those auctions, and you really felt like you were winning something, like you're almost winning a prize when you won those auctions. And it wasn't nearly as competitive like it is today. Now you got automated softwares for sniping and all that nonsense, and why it exists, but it just kind of ruins the experience, unfortunately, a little bit.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss like I remember just trying to buy video games or little things like that and just clicking like add 10 more cents, add 50 more cents, like, trying to get those auctions, whatever they were, comics or um, there was a gamification to it that was um, fun and really like to bring it full circle. There's like I really approach like marketplace selling in general, like as a game kind of. There's a gamification to it. Level up your characters, level up. You can constantly optimize if you want to. And that was the fun part. And eBay really was where I had my first success of like um, combining bundles and like kits together in a way that created a new product. And I was doing like paint way back then, where I was making borders around the images and just doing that kind of stuff that we do today, much more sophisticated. But, those were the things that like you have a whole page full of listings. Well, if you have a blue border around your images, like it stands out, and so eBay allowed some creativity like that.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They still do quite a lot more than Amazon for sure. Their guidelines for what you have to make your listing look like is much looser than what Amazon's is.
I think similar to Etsy too, like Etsy too, but both of those I think of as like eBay is like so your dad can sell his stuff in the garage, like generally speaking, like right, and then Etsy is like for maybe your mom that's into arts and crafts or makers, and I'm not saying it has to be male or female, but it's like this makers, and then like dad selling like collectible cards or his old BB guns or like stuff like that, right? Or like car parts. And then, but Amazon, I think, was the first marketplace that was designed for the customer, not for the seller. And so instead of making it easy to post all your stuff in the garage, because you're just taking, we didn't all have camera phones back then. You had to like legitimately borrow a digital camera from someone that was pretty costly at the time, and at least when my dad was doing it, and take pictures and then move them over to your computer. You had to have all this stuff, and now you can run it right from your phone, right? People under appreciate how we've all turned into photographers when it used to be a very select number of people that had cameras.
Yeah, I feel like I remember taking photos, going and getting the photos developed, and then slapping them on a flatbed scanner, scanning them into the computer to use them on eBay listings. That's how much work we used to have to do to make a product listings.
And we thought it was easy because it was easier than having a garage sale. It was like it was different in that regard. But I think Amazon, and I really see Amazon as the one that had all these rules, and that's why Marknology became a company, was like trying to navigate all these rules. But it created a standard, and it was a better customer experience, and it was like it forged the way for the rest of the web to get in line of creating some 2-day shipping. And now Amazon doesn't stick to 2-day shipping anymore, but they used to. And it used to be if it was more than 2 days, they refunded you at times. It was like easy. I think I'm waiting on a TV I bought on Black Friday, and it's been like, what, 2.5 weeks now or something. So it's not like it used to be, but it was this like standard of trust with the review. Like eBay started the reviews, but Amazon jumped on top of that with the reviews being a huge part of selling online, the transactional stuff, the shipping speed. It was all about customer experience, and they didn't care about the brands. They didn't care about the sellers, I think, for years on Amazon. And then, the last few years, they've made big strides in partnership programs and agency programs and trying to care about the brands. But for the longest time, Amazon was customer centric only.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why they've been so successful, because they kind of pioneered that. And the other big thing I think between eBay, Etsy versus Amazon is that you could have the same listing on eBay like 1,000 times, where Amazon, technically it's only supposed to be listed once, and then the sellers are on that one listing instead of every seller having their own listing. And that made it easier for customers as well.
Way better customer experience. Way better customer experience. Now, then the buy box became the holy grail, right? Of understanding the buy box and how to change price and do whatever. But those eBay listers, that was my first experience with horrible ecom software. If you remember, like, I probably spent 10,000 hours on eBay listers. I don't know. It just felt like a lifetime. Trying to get them to work and the descriptions to have some HTML and look sharp and have some photos in them. And, that was also the first time where I learned about item specifics. For anyone that's sold on eBay that's listening to the show, item specifics were like an area in the description that you could put in keywords in there, kind of like the back end of Amazon or whatever. You could put keywords in there that then your product would show up for. Like if someone searched a part number or whatever, and you started keyword stuffing a little bit the item specifics to rank better. And they also had like bonuses for off eBay traffic coming to eBay, and they gave commissions on those, which was something that as I moved into Amazon, I started even way before they came out with brand referral, refunds and different things like that for driving off Amazon traffic. I knew that there was juice that the algorithm gave you because eBay was doing that a long time ago. eBay just had some of these things that I think really did pave the way even for Amazon, even though we don't think about it like very much so.